Welcome everyone to the Monterey Sports Network's broadcast of tonight's Monterey High School Wildcat basketball games. We're set here to bring you action from both the ladies and the men's games tonight as we broadcast live from the First Volunteer Bank broadcast booth. The Lady Wildcats game will be starting in a few moments, and we'll be right back to continue with Monterey Foods pregame show after a word from our sponsors.
At First Volunteer Bank, we're not just a community bank. We're a bank that's here for our community. We know our customers by name and treat them like family. And we're here to serve our community however we can. Whether it's teaching financial literacy in our local schools or collecting and donating thousands of canned food items each year to local food banks, we're a part of your community. If you're looking for a community banking relationship, we make it easy for you to switch because we're here to help you every step of the way, right down to a local person on the other end of the phone to assist you when you need it. First Volunteer Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Monterey Foods, your hometown grocery store. From the time you enter their door until your groceries are carried to your car, you'll be treated as a valued customer. Come by and see Danny and his staff today. And remember, they have fresh cut meat daily, and check out their weekly specials at Monterey Foods on Facebook. They're located at the corner of Holly and Stratton in Monterey, or just give them a call at 931-839-2434. That's 931-839-2434. At Monterey Drugs, our focus is on you. You're not just a number, you're our neighbor. We will get to know you so that we can give you the personal service you deserve. Monterey Drugs, your hometown pharmacy, proud sponsors of Wildcat basketball. Located on Elmore Street, right next to Save-A-Lot, or just give them a call at 931-839-6777. That's 931-839-6777. Call the Tree Guys today for all your tree cutting and trimming needs. They offer tree removal at the customer's request. They give senior discounts. They even have 24-hour service available. And they do jobs for insurance claims. They are fully licensed and insured with over 10 years experience. Just give the Tree Guys a call today. 931-267-6191. 931-267-6191.
All right, folks, welcome into the Monterey Foods pregame show tonight here in the Monterey Gymnasium, the Troy Foust Memorial Gymnasium, that is. We're set here to bring you action from our Wildcats as the Pickett County Bobcats visit the Wildcat Den up here in Monterey. And before that starts, we're going to put together a pregame show here and maybe talk to some of the coaches, catch you up on some of the different happenings around the high school as far as that goes. There's a little bit of well, before we get to that, this is a district game too. It's District 6 game, and the Lady Wildcats are looking for their first victory in the district. Of course, they're going against a strong team tonight from Pickett County. The Lady Bobcats are only lost one game so far this year. The boys are in a situation where every district game that's coming up, they need to win it. They've failed to 4-2 in the district, and they're in fourth place currently in the District 6 standing. So it's an important game. We have been notified, the Monterey Sports Network this week, that we were approved for a grant through Volunteer Electric, the VE Customers Share Fund grant program. And I'm not at liberty right now to say how much they donated to us, but they were we are recipients, and going forward probably through the rest of this basketball season and also the baseball season coming up, they'll be one of our larger sponsors, and we just appreciate what they do. If you're not familiar with that share program, they call it Neighbors Helping Neighbors, and what it is we as Volunteer Electric, or Volunteer Energy now, I think, instead of Volunteer Electric, customers are, we can round our bills up to the nearest dollar, and that goes into this type of fund, and they say through the averages, a VEC customer contributes about $6 a year, but never more than $11.88 a year. And as all of the it's cooperative, so the owners are actually the recipients of the service through Volunteer Energy. So anyway, I said all that to say this: they have this fund is separate, really, from the Volunteer Energy Cooperative. It's a separate entity, all of its own, and we're waiting on some verbiage, maybe for have a spot and a commercial for them. We're going to try to have a spot for them tonight through this game, and we'll adjust it as we go. But the program started in October of 2001, and since that time, we're going on 19 years. They've awarded almost $6 million over that period of time, and most grants awarded are under $1,000. And I will say this: it's under $1,000 that they donated to us. But like I said, if it presents itself, we'll make that public if they want us to, and we'll be guided by them. As they say that 77% of VEC customers participate in the VE customer share program. So way over 3/4 of the people that participate in this program. Coach Duff just got here. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Rick.
How are you this afternoon,
sir?
Good.
We've been busy. We had some football workouts. Brought over our 6th graders for the first workout of the year. So showing our new kids how to get around the weight room and what they need to do. So
cool. So you've been busy. You've been busy this afternoon.
A little bit.
I was just going over. I hadn't had a chance to really tell you anything about this, but we are recipients of the VE Customer Share Program.
Yeah.
Over at Volunteer Energy.
Yeah.
And they're sponsors with us now.
Awesome. Well, that's big.
Oh, it's big. Yeah, they stepped up. Of course, we got what 9 games left.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be. We got a playoff run. That playoff run's going to be.
Yeah, I've just kept regular season
games. Yeah, that's right.
And it's going to take a little while for everything to go through. But I told them we go ahead and start tonight and start putting them on our spot program.
But they do a lot. That customer share is incredible. And if you don't know what that is, and you can do it with any utility service, is round your bill up to the closest dollar.
Yeah, and
or the next dollar. So
right.
The amount of money that it ends up going out, it ends up being $6 per year per person, but across an entire community, you can get a nice fund put together, and VEC does this and has their hands in a lot of projects around Monterey, around the Upper Cumberland.
Well, it says in this flyer that I printed off, they've from October 2001 up to date, they've awarded nearly $6 million. Well, actually over that.
Yes.
The website's over $6 million. So
yeah. So and that's that's less than $1 at a time from rounding your bill up.
So it's a good program, and they've actually a couple of other programs that I've been involved with here around Monterey. They've donated. So I think to date, I talked to Tommy Walker about it here a couple of weeks ago, and they've donated almost $5,000 last year.
Yes. Wow.
In this area. So, and I guess I'm saying all this and letting you guys know about it is that go over there. If you've got a program, if you've got something that's going to help somebody, and it's a nonprofit, and that's what we are. We're not a profit organization. Go over there and put in an application. The Bible says you have not because you ask not. So if you need somebody and you've got a worthy cause, I'm sure
VEC will contribute.
I'm sure they'll step up to the plate and help you out with that. Well, Coach, I'm trying to do a live stream today.
All right, good deal. That's good.
I've changed their format around, and it's just a still frame with audio.
I got you. So we might be able to get that through out of this concrete gym.
Well, we're trying our best.
That's
and
right.
We were talking about it the other day. I believe what the problem is all this sound protection.
True.
Around the gym.
Yeah.
It can't get out and can't get in.
Yeah.
You know, and so we're going to attempt it, and folks, if it's buffering too much and if it's too staticky or whatever and the quality's not real good, just tune out. We'll replay it again tomorrow. We'll check it as soon as we get the chance to. And I've got some people out there that's going to let me know with how it's turning out. The test that I done was really good. The audio come through real good. So anyway, I'm through with all that. Get that out of the way. What about them Titans?
It's going to be a great matchup. I actually went outside when the Chiefs were down 21-0 to the Texans. I went outside and started working on some stuff outside. I sort of thought that game was in hand, and then I came back in, and it was 21-14, and I thought, well, if Kansas City's got it rolling, then Texans can't answer it, and sure enough, Kansas City kept rolling, and that's where the Titans will be. And I would say I'm surprised about the Titans, but they've got a winning formula for the NFL, so they've cashed in these two postseason games up to now.
Instead of a single-headed monster,
yeah,
we got a double-headed monster. If you stop one, the other one's going to key you.
Yes, and I think that the defense is, your old school back 50s, 60s, 70s, it was run the ball and play defense, and that's the formula they have. You really got to. Derrick Henry's gotten so much credit, but the defense held Lamar Jackson to 14 points and held Tom Brady to 13 points.
Exactly.
So
yeah,
that's that. If they continue on this run and they continue the Super Bowl, that, and when you look at this team and the way history reflects on it, it might really be the defense that was one of the biggest keys.
Sure it is. Yeah, the Dean Pease, the bend but don't break.
Yeah.
You know, that's exactly what they've done. I mean, the Chiefs had almost 500, over 500 yards against them when they played them in the season, and then New England and Baltimore both had over 500 yards against them.
Yeah.
But what counts is that
getting those fourth down turnovers on downs, and then the turnovers in the red zone, holding them to field goals in the red zone.
Exactly.
You can turn that a lot of that yardage turns into empty yardage.
I was going to go into a bunch of stats and stuff about this, but I think we'll just hit it a little bit here and go on. I looked up up to today the matchup says that the Chiefs is 7-point favorites. Of course, 3 of that being at home.
Yeah.
You know, the Titan faithful probably disagree with that, but that's probably pretty good. Probably pretty
fair. Chiefs have a larger body of work over the regular season to earn that 7-point favorite by the odds makers, and I don't know the exact percentages. I want to say a 7-point underdog wins about 35% of the time, and it's different. It's not linear. It's kind of you can kind of see they've got all these spreads and point spreads out over all these years, and they kind of have a scale on it. If you're a 7-point favorite, then the favorite wins 65% of the time. The underdog wins 35% of the time. I want to say that's pretty close to what it ends up being. You know, a 14-point favorite wins 20% of the time, stuff like that.
They've got a model. They've got a model
sort of a model, yeah. So, you know, 7 points might sound like a lot, but this is the NFL, and they're all professionals. No matter who suits up from one day to the next, they are the highest, the most gifted athletes, some of the most gifted athletes on the planet.
Yeah, and of course the playoffs, it's another season. You can forget about what happened in the regular season.
Right. Yeah.
If you make it to the big dance, they call that for basketball, but you can do it in football. If you make it to the party, you've done something.
Yeah.
And so we're looking at 4 teams left.
Yeah.
You know, it's
two games.
San Francisco and Green Bay.
Green Bay, that'll be a
great
game.
Tough game, and
it'll be a great game. I've been looking forward to it all week. So
it's going to be 2 good games, and 2 teams are going to come out and go to the Super Bowl in Miami. So we just hope it's the Titans. I want to hit a little bit on and talk just a little about the ladies UT Lady Vols. Is it Kelly Jolly?
Kelly. Yes,
Harper.
That sounds correct. Kelly Jolly. Yes, alumni of White County. Spartans.
Right. Yeah, and she played for Pat.
Correct. Played for Coach Summit. And then, but from the Upper Cumberland.
Well, they're. I looked up a little bit of. I didn't do the boys because they're having a tough season this year, unfortunately.
They had somebody has been deemed eligible. One of their foreign players is deemed eligible, and I don't think he'll come in right away and make a huge influence or a huge impact, but he will help. He will contribute by the end of the. He'll be in the lineup very soon, and
I think he played last night.
Did he?
Yeah, okay. I believe he did. That I didn't listen to it, but I saw the some of the summary of the game. The Lady Vols are setting 14-3 on the season. They're leading the SEC. Well, no, they're not leading. They're 4th in the SEC, but you got South Carolina, which is ranked number 1.
South Carolina and Mississippi State are standards in the SEC these days in women's basketball.
South Carolina's number 1 in the nation. Mississippi State's number 10. And so in the SEC, they're number 1, number 2. Kentucky is number 3, and they're actually down the totem pole this year.
They've made some appearances in the top 25. They're at 24 right now.
They're at 11. Kentucky's at 11.
Oh yeah.
The Lady Vols is
24th ranked.
But they're 4th in the SEC, which SEC again is tough top to bottom. And we just want to give them a shout out, and Miss Harper's doing a fantastic job there. Right now, their record is 9-1 at home, and that's a big turnaround from the last 2 or 3 seasons. Well, ever since Pat left. In conference, they're 4-1. So they played the games that they've lost was to Texas, which is tough, year in, year out.
Stanford's a powerhouse in women's basketball. And
then at Kentucky. They lost at Kentucky by 4 points. So they played a good game they've had a good season so far, and it's not over with yet. The men, like I said, they're a little unfortunate. I believe they're going to pick it up by the end of the season. Maybe if they make the tournament.
Hopefully they can make the dance. I would say that's probably Coach Barnes' goal, is to make the dance, because he knows
he's lost so many.
He did.
He lost Grant Williams. He lost Admiral Schofield. He lost Jordan Bone, and this year he lost Lamonte Turner.
Yeah.
I mean, that was his point guard, so he pretty much had to wipe the slate clean and start over again. Of course, he had some good guys off the bench. There's is it Eves Pons?
Yes.
He's doing a good job, and Bowden.
Yeah.
Bowden's doing good, so maybe they'll pick it up and turn it around. And like I said, I just wanted to touch on that a minute. We've got just a minute before we have to go back to break, folks. And coming back on the second hour, Coach, let's talk a little bit about the banquet from last night.
Okay.
We got some photos and maybe some of the awards and stuff we can go over. And was you able to catch up with Coach Hughes?
He's not staying around for this game. He's got something he's doing with his family tonight. He said to look for him next Friday. He's got to work the gate, but he said he could come over here when the gate's not busy, or he could come by after gate, which will be around the halftime of the boys' game or second quarter of the boys' game. But
okay.
Yeah, he said to look out for him next Friday.
Good deal. All right, folks, we're going to go to a quick break, and we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors, and we'll talk a little bit about football and then get into some of the scores in the region with Coach Duff. Hang on just a minute, and we'll be right back.
At First Volunteer Bank, we're not just a community bank. We're a bank that's here for our community. We know our customers by name and treat them like family. And we're here to serve our community however we can. Whether it's teaching financial literacy in our local schools or collecting and donating thousands of canned food items each year to local food banks, we're a part of your community. If you're looking for a community banking relationship, we make it easy for you to switch because we're here to help you every step of the way, right down to a local person on the other end of the phone to assist you when you need it. First Volunteer Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Monterey Foods, your hometown grocery store. From the time you enter their door until your groceries are carried to your car, you'll be treated as a valued customer. Come by and see Danny and his staff today. And remember, they have fresh cut meat daily, and check out their weekly specials at Monterey Foods on Facebook. They're located at the corner of Holly and Stratton in Monterey, or just give them a call at 931-839-2434. That's 931-839-2434. At Monterey Drugs, our focus is on you. You're not just a number, you're our neighbor. We will get to know you so that we can give you the personal service you deserve. Monterey Drugs, your hometown pharmacy, proud sponsors of Wildcat Basketball. Located on Elmore Street, right next to Save-A-Lot, or just give them a call at 931-839-6777. That's 931-839-6777. Call the Tree Guys today for all your tree cutting and trimming needs. They offer tree removal at the customer's request. They give senior discounts. They even have 24-hour service available. And they do jobs for insurance claims. They are fully licensed and insured with over 10 years experience. Just give the Tree Guys a call today. 931-267-6191. 931-267-6191.
Okay, folks, welcome back here to the Troy Foust Memorial Gymnasium. Here tonight for this big district game between our Wildcats and the visiting Pickett County Bobcats. We got a bunch of kids down there on the floor now, cheerleaders as well as basketball players kind of getting ready. Coach Duff is going to kind of go over maybe some of the awards that had taken place with the football team. We talked about those earlier in the year, you know, when it came out in Herald Citizen, but last night the football team had their banquet, football banquet, awards banquet, and I'm trying to find the post that's got the pictures on it, but I'm sure everybody saw them on Facebook, but we'll kind of go over them, hit them a little bit, and then maybe get into some of the scores in after that. But
yeah, we'll start at the top. So if you saw the Herald Citizen, you saw the most valuable player in Region 4-1A was Jordan Key, our Monterey Wildcat quarterback. And before since we're talking about the region's not the same in football.
No.
The region has a few different teams. You've got Monterey, you've got Pickett County, you've got Clay County, you've got Gordonsville, you've got Joe Burns, which is north of Nashville, and then you've got Red Bull Springs. And I believe I hit everybody just right there. Yep. So those are your 6 teams in Region 4A or 4-1A. And the Wildcats obviously finished 10-0. They had 11 players earn postseason awards for their play this season. So your MVP in Region 4A was Jordan Key. Defensive Lineman of the Year, sophomore Carter Charlton at defensive end, voted Lineman of the Year. Your co-back of the year, you had a young man from Joe Burns, Ryan Dowland, and also Monterey's own freshman Mason Bowman of Monterey. Your special teams player of the year, senior kicker, defensive lineman, punter, Renee Talon. He hit that region clinching kick in overtime in the rain to get Monterey to 9-0 to clinch the region on a rainy night in October. And then your other Region 4-1A all-region players, Kevin Borhaus at wide receiver and defensive back, Kevin Perez at linebacker, Sam Bilbrey and Denver Smith at offensive and defensive line, Chandler Bowden at wide receiver, Anthony Soberanis at Anthony Soberanis at running back and linebacker, and Sammy Webb our center, and a defensive lineman for your Monterey Wildcats. Also, Coach Hughes recognized as co-coach of the year with Scott Clemens from Gordonsville. And if you didn't know anything about Gordonsville's season, they ended up finishing 3-7, but they made it very close with Monterey, and they were just riddled with injuries to start the year. So they were able to if they would have finished any worse, they wouldn't have made the playoffs.
Right.
But they finished 3-7 riddled with injuries, and were able to win 2 games in the playoffs before being eliminated in South Pittsburgh, Tennessee.
Of course, that's where the buck stops.
And that's where single A football in this side of the state comes to an end for a lot of teams.
But they didn't make the playoffs.
Yes, they made the playoffs, and they were able to make.
They made the playoffs,
yes, exactly.
But they didn't make the state tournament. I'm sorry.
Correct. And just some stats: Sam Bilbrey, who's a senior, had 26 tackles and 8 tackles for loss, and then Carter Charlton was defensive lineman of the year. He had 51 tackles, 4 sacks, 12 tackles for loss, and 4 pass breakups. And also, Carter Charlton plays tight end. He was the person who caught the touchdown against Clay County.
That big Clay County in overtime.
Against Clay County to force overtime.
To force overtime.
Jordan Key played quarterback and defensive back. He was your MVP. He had 966 yards and 15 touchdowns, 624 yards running, and 9 touchdowns. So 24 touchdowns from his quarterback position. Defensively, he had 39 tackles, 2 interceptions, and 1 sack. He also had 506 yards on special teams and 4 touchdowns on kick returns. So from his position at quarterback and as a kick returner, he had 28 touchdowns for these Wildcats. A special athlete and a special career for Jordan Key, and I can say there's nobody more deserving of the success and the notoriety and the exposure for all the work he's done, even since he was a 7th grader playing here in Monterey.
Yeah.
He's done everything the right way. He's a great student. He's a great senior leader for this school. So but obviously he deserves everything that he's received.
You know him personally.
Yes.
That makes a big difference.
He played baseball and football for me, and I'm tickled to death with all his success. And so obviously there'll be little kids in Monterey coming up who remember the years that Jordan Key was quarterback and the run that Monterey went on, led by him. Mason Bowman, freshman co-running back of the year, had 797 yards and 10 touchdowns. He also had 25 tackles on defense with 2 sacks and 5 tackles for loss as a freshman. Kevin Borhaus, as a wide receiver and working in the secondary, had 30 catches for 402 yards and 5 touchdowns. He also had 19 tackles, 1 interception, and 6 pass breakups for your Wildcats on defense. Anthony Soberanis, the junior, was all-region for offense and defense. As a tailback, he rushed for 488 yards and 3 touchdowns. And then defensively, as a linebacker, Soberanis had 89 tackles and 11 for loss with 2 sacks and 3 interceptions. He's another one who does things the right way. He works hard in the weight room. He works hard on the field. He's a great person in the hallways, and he will continue to have more success coming into his senior year.
Yeah, I hope he gets to play.
He will.
There was rumors that he was going to go to work.
I think he's been coming to work out, so I think
good deal.
He's in. He's got 1 more year, and if he plays his cards right, then he could continue to play after that.
Sure. Yeah, he's a fire plug.
Yes.
I mean, anybody that went to the games knows number 15.
Number 15, he's quite the guy on the field and in person. Kevin Perez and Chandler Bowden, linebacker Kevin Perez and Chandler Bowden, wide receiver and cornerback, were honored by region coaches. Perez had 56 tackles, 2 for loss, and then Bowden caught 21 passes for 317 yards and 6 touchdowns. Bowden, a sophomore, so he's got 2 more years left, and Kevin Perez, the senior, caps off his season or his high school football career as an all-region player. And then the final Wildcat on the all-region squad was Rene Talon, Monterey's kicker, punter, and a starting defensive lineman. He made 4 out of his 5 field goals. The long was 41 yards. He also had 19 touchbacks, 40.7 yards per punt, and he had 4 punts inside the 20-yard line. And on defense, he had 5 sacks and 10 tackles for loss and 2 fumble recoveries. And that's another one. Had a great senior season, and as a junior high player, he was a game changer for us on special teams because nobody expects a junior high kid to kick the ball into the end zone, and we had Renee, and he sure could. So we were able to get a lot of touchbacks and a lot of good field position because of him. So he was able to continue his success and his great things through his high school career. And then also Coach of the Year, Coach Hughes, who's had 7 wins over the last 3 years at least, and I think he's up to about 35, 40 wins overall as head coach of the Monterey Wildcats.
He's done a good job while he's been here. Well, we got a visitor up here with us. Coach Mark Sims, come on in. How you doing there, sir? Can you hear it?
Yeah,
Can you hear us?
Oh, it's a
little squeal?
Yeah, a little squeal there.
I believe we got it fixed. Welcome, sir.
All right, it's good to be here.
Been a game or two since you've been up here with us.
I know. It's I hadn't been in the mood to come up here and talk much lately.
Well, hey,
you've had some battles.
Those man, that's rough. Losses by 1 point.
Yeah.
And 2 points.
Yeah.
Anna had it right there at her head to tie it.
I know.
That's a lot of pressure on that little lady.
It's a lot of pressure. We got to do a better job shooting foul shots, though. We're shooting as a team somewhere in the low 40%, and you just can't win those close games. The other night at Gordonsville, we were 10 for 23, I believe it was, from the foul line, and they were 22 of 25 from the foul line.
Wow.
So
that was the difference in that game.
Yeah, you can't win those close ones. Those what we call 50-50 games. You can't win those when one team shoots 90-something% and you shoot 35%. You're not going to win it.
Well, that's a lot of the problem with boys' losses too.
The boys have took a couple losses, because of foul shots too. Yeah, so
yeah,
it's tough.
What's the injury status for Grace? We meant to ask her when she's up here.
Grace has had kind of lingering problems since somewhere around the midpoint of last season, and it's just never really gotten healed up. And she's been getting some shots in her knee, and so we've decided that we were going to rest it for a while, and then hopefully she'll be, back ready to play maybe around district tournaments.
Cool. Good deal. She came up here with us and sat in with us for the first half of the boys' game.
Yeah.
She's done a good job.
She really enjoys this type of stuff. So
we'll put her to work. That's for sure.
Yeah, she'll be a good one.
That's for sure. Well, we played Pickett County over there, and I know 16 points is a lot of points if you just looking at the points. But the girls played them a good game over there at Pickett County.
They did. We, it kind of gets old talking about how close some of these games were, but talking to some other people, and the first step for us is you got to get competitive first, and we're getting competitive in all these games.
Absolutely.
Giving ourselves a chance to win, and those things, and that's good. And hopefully, the next step is we're going to start getting some wins out of it. And but yeah, at Pickett County, we you probably remember just as much as I do, but we started out the game there, and it was they got up on us 11-0 before we ever scored the first basket, and then we went into halftime down 11. So we from that 2-minute mark and the rest of the first half we played even with them. I think me and Coach Duff actually talked about we outscored them.
Second and fourth quarter.
The second quarter and the fourth quarter, we outscored them. First quarter we had they got a pretty good run on us, 11-0, and in the third quarter they went in on another little run. But so we put together some runs, and I told the girls after the last game there at Trousdale, basketball, and everybody knows it's a game of runs. One team's going to make a run, and then you got to counter with your own run, and it's a game of highs and lows, and
yep.
you got to cover. Your highs got to be higher than your lows, and so.
Well, you got to grow, just like you told us out there at the beginning of the season.
Right.
You got to learn how to win, and
right.
some of those winning. I mean, from point A to point B is you got steps in between there.
Right.
You got A, AA, and all that kind of stuff, and that's learning how to manage the runs,
right.
and all that kind of thing. And I've watched them since the beginning of the year, and that team out here against Trousdale County put on a show. The only thing they were off on was those foul shots.
Yeah, foul shots. Another thing that got us in Trousdale is I can't remember the young lady's name, but she's number 10 for Trousdale.
It's that little White. Last name's White.
Yeah, she hadn't scored all night. And
fourth quarter, she's
come
wearing
out
it
the
out.
Fourth quarter, and she hit 4 threes and a jump shot. She had 14 points fourth quarter. And so it seemed like in these tight ones that we've lost, at least we've gotten to the point. And this is what I talked to my coaches about. At least we've gotten to the point to where we can kind of pinpoint. Well, here, we're talking about foul shots now, and that one girl, we let her loose, 3 or 4 times there, and where before we had so much going on. It's like now we're getting it narrowed down, and we're pinpointing problems.
We're getting focused in on that's, and of course that Simmons in the paint, she was awesome.
She's a really good player.
She played the whole game. Did she ever go out?
Not that I remember.
We just sat up here talking about her. She was red-faced through the whole ball game. It was like she wore out. Yeah. But they played a good game, and I think they played well. I know they did. They played a lot better than their record coming in here.
Yeah.
They scored more points than they scored all year long, and it was just that. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but that's part of the learning experience, learning how to win.
Yeah.
Is to overcome that kind of thing.
Absolutely.
So
we're going to get these girls in the locker room here and
see you, Coach.
Okay, Coach.
Go get them.
Thanks for coming up here and talking with us.
All right. Thank you, guys.
See you, bud.
Okay, folks, we're going to go to a short break right quick, and we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. And I promise this time, Coach Duff is going to go over the scores.
You're good.
I kind of put him on the spot there, ready to go with the football. So.
I'll do whatever.
Y'all hang on, and we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
First Volunteer Bank, we're not just a community bank. We're a bank that's here for our community. We know our customers by name and treat them like family. And we're here to serve our community however we can. Whether it's teaching financial literacy in our local schools or collecting and donating thousands of canned food items each year to local food banks, we're a part of your community. If you're looking for a community banking relationship, we make it easy for you to switch because we're here to help you every step of the way, right down to a local person on the other end of the phone to assist you when you need it. First Volunteer Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Monterey Foods, your hometown grocery store. From the time you enter their door until your groceries are carried to your car, you'll be treated as a valued customer. Come by and see Danny and his staff today. And remember, they have fresh cut meat daily, and check out their weekly specials at Monterey Foods on Facebook. They're located at the corner of Holly and Stratton in Monterey, or just give them a call at 931-839-2434. That's 931-839-2434. At Monterey Drugs, our focus is on you. You're not just a number, you're our neighbor. We will get to know you so that we can give you the personal service you deserve. Monterey Drugs, your hometown pharmacy, proud sponsors of Wildcat Basketball. Located on Elmore Street, right next to Save-A-Lot, or just give them a call at 931-839-6777. That's 931-839-6777. Call the Tree Guys today for all your tree cutting and trimming needs. They offer tree removal at the customer's request. They give senior discounts. They even have 24-hour service available. And they do jobs for insurance claims. They are fully licensed and insured with over 10 years experience. Just give the Tree Guys a call today. 931-267-6191. 931-267-6191.
Okay, folks, here we're back here for the third quarter of tonight's Monterey Foods pregame show. We had a visit there from Coach Duff, or not Coach Duff. He's sitting next to me. Coach Sims. He's a girls coach. I'll get it out here in a minute.
That's right.
And folks, it's the truth. I mean, those girls have every game they got better.
Well, that's a big thing. Instead of fixing a bunch of things, I think Coach Sims has really hit it on the head. Instead of fixing a bunch of things, it's really been narrowed down to a couple things to fix. Your free throws and maybe letting a couple defensive lapses. So that's really exciting. I'm really excited for Coach Sims. I hope he's just as excited, because when you're getting that close and you can finally fix those last little things. We talked about early in the season about being in the top 4 of the district tournament, so that way they can the Wildcats can make a run into the region tournament, and they've got to upend either Trousdale or Red Bullin or these Pickett County Bobcats. I think Clay County, even Clay County. I don't think anybody's upsetting Clark Range, but that's the chance that the Wildcats have in order to make the region tournament.
Yeah. So. I'm gonna turn it over to Coach Duff. He's gonna get into some of the scores and stuff around the area. And
yes, sir.
I'm gonna try my best to fix the YouTube feed. So
we'll start with District 6A, and on Tuesday night there's a full slate of District 6A action. You had Trousdale here in Monterey, and the Trousdale girls won 68-66, and then the Monterey boys won 72-52. You had Gordonsville on Tuesday night going to Clark Range. The Clark Range girls obviously won by a big margin, 74-30, and then the Gordonsville boys ended up beating Clark Range 65-40. Your Jackson County Blue Devils visited these Pickett County Bobcats on Tuesday night. The Pickett County girls had a big win over Jackson County, 73-28, and then your Pickett County boys ended up also beating the Jackson County Blue Devils 63-73. Pickett County boys winning that one. Your Red Bull and Springs boys visited Clay County. Clay County girls beat Red Bull and Spring girls, beat them by 7, 54-47 victory for Clay County girls, and a 65-53 victory for Clay County boys. Today you have another slate of District 6A action all across the district. Pickett County is here in Monterey. Your Clark Range Buffaloes have traveled north to Red Bull and Springs. Your Gordonsville Tigers have also traveled north to Clay County, and your Trousdale County boys and girls have traveled to or at Jackson County for this Friday night of District 6A action. Going up and down your standings for your girls and your boys teams. At the top of your girls' standings in District 6A, Clark Range girls 18-2 overall, 7-0 in district play. Pickett County girls are 18-1 overall. They are 6-1 in district play. Clay County girls are 11-8 overall, and they're 5-2 in district play. Red Bull and Springs girls are 14-7 overall, 4-3 in district play. Your Gordonsville girls are 9-8 overall, 3-4 in district play. Trousdale County girls are 5-14 overall, 2-5 in district play. Jackson County is 1-15 with an 0-6 record in District 6A play, and then your Monterey Lady Wildcats are 4-14 overall, also 0-6 in district play. Going up and down your boys' standings, your Clay County boys are at the top of the District 6A for the boys. They are 17-2 overall with a 6-1 district record in 6A. Gordonsville second in the district, 12-6 overall with a 6-1 mark in District 6A. Red Bull and Springs are 15-7 overall, 5-2 in district play. Your Monterey Wildcats 14-4 overall with a 4-2 mark in district play. Pickett County Bobcats 11-7 overall, 3-4 in district play. Trousdale County boys 8-11 overall, 2-5 in district play. Your Jackson County Blue Devils 7-10 overall, 1-5 in district play. And your Clark Range Buffaloes 4-16 overall, 0-7 in district play. So just the highlights from your District 6A slate on Tuesday. Trousdale girls win, Clark Range girls win, Pickett County girls win, Clay County girls win. Your boys side, Monterey boys win, Gordonsville boys win, Pickett County boys win, and Clay County boys win Tuesday night. At the top of your standings for the girls, Clark Range, Pickett, Clay, and Red Boiling Springs. At the top of your district for the boys, Clay, Gordonsville, Red Boiling Springs, and Monterey Wildcats. So moving up in enrollment, moving to District 8AA, your 8 teams: DeKalb, Upperman, Smith County, Cannon County, Watertown, Livingston Academy, York Institute, and Macon County. They had a full slate of district action on Tuesday night. You had DeKalb visiting Upperman, and the Upperman girls won against DeKalb County girls 52-35, and your Upperman boys beat the DeKalb County boys 90-33. You had the Smith County Owls visiting your Cannon County girls and boys. The Cannon County girls won 62-36, and the Cannon County boys beat the Smith County boys 68-51. Your Watertown visited Livingston Academy. The Livingston Academy girls won 60-45, and the Watertown boys beat Livingston Academy 75-71. Your York Institute, I think they're the Dragons, visited Macon County, and Macon County girls won 62-45, and your York Institute boys won 63-51. So your Upperman boys and girls swept DeKalb. Your Cannon County boys and girls swept Smith County. Watertown girls won, and Livingston Academy boys won for a split. And your Macon County girls won. Your York Institute girls, Macon County girls won. York Institute boys also winning for a split on Tuesday night. Today you've got another full slate of District 8AA action. You've got Upperman visiting Cannon County in Woodbury, Tennessee. You've got Livingston Academy traveling to York up in Jamestown. You've got your DeKalb County Tigers visiting Macon County up in Lafayette. And then you've also got your Smith County Owls visiting Watertown this Friday night. So your girls' district standings: Macon County 17-1 overall, 5-0 in district play. Upperman County girls 17-2, also 5-0 in district play. York Institute 11-6 overall, 3-2 in district play. Livingston Academy 11-9 overall, 3-2 in district play. Cannon County girls 14-5 overall, 2-3 in district play. DeKalb County girls 9-8 overall, 2-3 in district play. Your Smith County Owls 9-11 overall, 0-5 in district play. Watertown girls 8-9 overall, 0-5 in district play. So the highlights, the top of your standings for 8AA in the girls side: Macon County, Upperman, York, and Livingston Academy. Your boys standings: Upperman at the top with 16-2 overall, 5-0 in district play. York Institute 12-5 overall, 4-1 in district play. Cannon County boys 13-6 overall, 4-1 in district play. Watertown boys 13-4 overall, 3-2 in district play. And Livingston Academy 9-11 overall, 2-3 in district play. DeKalb County boys 4-12 overall, 1-4 in district play. Smith County 3-16 overall, 1-4 in district play. Macon County 5-14 overall, 0-5 in district play. So the top of your 8AA in boys: Upperman, York, Cannon County, and Watertown, heading off the top of District 8AA. And we are going to, before we get to District 6 AAA, we're going to take another little break. We've only got 10 minutes still opening tip here between your Pickett County Bobcats and your Monterey Lady Wildcats. So we'll be right back after this.
At First Volunteer Bank, we're not just a community bank, we're a bank that's here for our community. We know our customers by name and treat them like family, and we're here to serve our community however we can. Whether it's teaching financial literacy in our local schools or collecting and donating thousands of canned food items each year to local food banks, we're a part of your community. If you're looking for a community banking relationship, we make it easy for you to switch because we're here to help you every step of the way, right down to a local person on the other end of the phone to assist you when you need it. First Volunteer Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Monterey Foods, your hometown grocery store. From the time you enter their door until your groceries are carried to your car, you'll be treated as a valued customer. Come by and see Danny and his staff today. And remember, they have fresh cut meat daily, and check out their weekly specials at Monterey Foods on Facebook. They're located at the corner of Holly and Stratton in Monterey, or just give them a call at 931-839-2434. That's 931-839-2434. At Monterey Drugs, our focus is on you. You're not just a number, you're our neighbor. We will get to know you so that we can give you the personal service you deserve. Monterey Drugs, your hometown pharmacy, proud sponsors of Wildcat Basketball. Located on Elmore Street, right next to Save-A-Lot, or just give them a call at 931-839-6777. That's 931-839-6777. Call the Tree Guys today for all your tree cutting and trimming needs. They offer tree removal at the customer's request. They give senior discounts. They even have 24-hour service available. And they do jobs for insurance claims. They are fully licensed and insured with over 10 years experience. Just give the Tree Guys a call today. 931-267-6191. 931-267-6191.